Obviously, two halves, entirely different, very much offensive struggles in that first half. Second half, completely different, over 50%. How do you gauge something like that?
I think we're a new team, and we knew this would be a really hard game. I'm happy for our guys, proud of them. It was not an easy, when you scheduled them, especially as an opener, and you're trying to figure things out, it probably wasn't the best decision on my part, but it's good for us. We fought through it. We guarded the heck out of them. Happy for the guys, happy for Gene, so now he doesn't have to get all the calls from his buddies back in North Dakota asking what the heck's wrong with their basketball program. So it was good for that part. But I thought we moved the ball in the second half. I thought the start of the game we had good flow. We did some good things. But then I thought we got sticky fingers and we tried to make plays on our own, and there weren't many possessions in the first half. We got them the shot clocks a bunch of times. And so now when you have limited possessions and then we come down and Xavier takes a tough one, Carty takes one, Max tries to drive when there's nothing there. Then, somebody else, so now we have 5, 6, 7 bad possessions. They didn't score for 7 minutes and a half? But we didn't score either. So, until Carty makes a couple plays at the end, we get it to 1, come back out. I thought we settled down. We showed them on the board. We're 1 for 12 from 3. Why not dominate twos? We win 34-14 in the paint. So I think just kind of figuring it out as a team. I like what the young guys did. And I like that, obviously, Mac double-double, Carty with 20-something. But our young guys made plays. Dejuan's 3, and Monty gets a putback. Levi goes in and makes a couple plays. Mike makes a big 3. All in that stretch that helped us get it out a little bit, get the lead where we were a little bit comfortable.
You kind of hit on this in your last answer, but outside of the offense in the first half, did you still like the effort? You gave up 22 points, all that kind of stuff?
They only have 22, and they don't score, 6.5, 7 minutes to end the half. So and I guess a lot of times when you don't score, you let down on defense, but our guys didn't. And, we talked about our play hard. We had to dominate that, and it was 36-22. That it was, and Xavier led us on it. We talked about three-point shooting. They're a really good three-point shooter team. We hold them to 28% from 3. And then we talked about assist turnovers. We're at 4 at halftime, and then we end up with 10. Or 14, 10 more in the second half. So obviously you make baskets, you get assists, but I thought we moved the ball better and made better reads and better plays. And so you made some progress, and now we got to go to Vegas, so it's not going to be easy for these guys. And, we're going to learn a lot about our team in the first week.
Just how much did Carty really spark you guys when you needed it offensively?
Well, he can score, but I don't need 21 shots. I think, if he gets 20-some points, 23 on 16 shots, I think that's probably better, 15 shots. So a couple of those threes, a couple times getting to the hoop, get to the free throw line, they're in foul trouble, make them guard us. And he's got to make a little better decisions on those plays. But, he got us going at the end of the half. He struggled early. He really didn't play great if you look at the exhibition games. And I think those 2 buckets at the end of the half, we got him the first play in the second half. Now X makes a shot. Now we get flowing. But to me, the best play might have been Carty passing to Mac on the lobby, made the right read. And now against their defense, that's there all day, but you got to make the right read and play.
You feel like you took more rhythm shots and rhythm threes in the second half?
I believe so. Stepping into them. The other ones, we didn't have much rhythm on it at all. And then I think guys just were trying to make plays on their own instead of playing together, and we got better and better as it went on. So, Montavious, again, I don't think stats, 2 points, 6 rebounds, but, he had to guard a lot of different spots. It's hard for a freshman against a team like that plays small ball, plays a little unorthodox. They got some good players, and I thought, that's why Monte got the most minutes, 33 minutes, because he was very, very solid. Then he gets a big putback down the stretch. All those little plays are difference makers in a game.
It seemed like all the newcomers were part of the rotation tonight. What'd you think of all of them tonight?
I thought they did really well. Dejuan is 3 for 3, 2 for 2, makes a 3. The turnovers just kind of forcing a little bit. He's got to learn when to go. I thought he was really good at. He has to guard 24 as a freshman against an experienced senior that knows how to play. I thought he did a great job. And we switched a couple times at the right times in the second half. Monte I just talked about. And Antonio, he's got to learn that practice is important. And if he figures that out, he's a good player and he's got a lot of talent, but he just doesn't have great practices. And now I asked him after, what did you learn? I hope he would say, I got to prepare better and be, I think he will. He's got a chance. And I give credit to Monte because it's hard to guard all those guys in their movement and all that stuff. And then I thought David Sloan was very, very solid. And that's why we took him. We knew he could help us when we get him and Carty. That allows Carty to roam. We can get him in some, instead of just 10 eyes staring at him, we can get Carty moving a little bit and David delivering.
And then McCall, he
double, 2 in a row. It's great, and only 1 turnover. I thought he forced a couple times where he could have went to the basket, make them foul him. But he's definitely made progress since that first exhibition game. And, if he can, he should have a great motor all the time. He's so athletic. He can run. He can jump. He just got to I think sometimes he fights himself. He wants to do too much. Just let the game come.
Just how much was getting to the basket an emphasis in the second half?
It was an emphasis in the first half. They just didn't, it didn't happen. And, we told them we had to turn the corner, put them in a bind, and we did a better job of that. And, it started with Carty, but we had other guys that got in the paint and made some good plays. I think David Sloan's the one who had the assist to Dejuan on the baseline. And that, when we moved that basketball, in practice, we're pretty good, and we have a lot of different weapons.
Obviously, you talked about Carty with the 21 shots that he took, but what are you seeing out of him as far as being able to assume more of a leadership role this season and kind of getting the troops going like he was able to tonight?
Well, I think Xavier is our leader. He's decided he wants to be the vocal guy, a lot like Barry. He knows what he's the one talking, and you could ask the players. Carty's more he's the guy on the court that's going to go make the plays. And and again, somebody said, what do you like about Carty? 6 assists, 1 turnover. And if you look at his exhibition numbers, they were not that. And so that was positive. And like I said, a few less shots, and take what the defense gives you. And he's he can make some plays. He's a good player. There's no doubt. He probably thinks I held him back last year, but he'll have his chance this year. He's just got to be efficient. All those guys got to.
Hey, Montavious, what was it just like to not only play in your first real game but get your first start?
It was a great moment. I just told myself I was gonna come out here and play hard. I just want to make sure I play hard to everybody on the court, and I feel like I did that, and we came out with the dub, so it was nice.
How do you think you held up over that long of a span, all those minutes?
Oh, it was great. We do a lot of conditioning, so I actually felt my body was really good today, so I felt great.
Carty, what did you like most about your own game today?
I'm a big critic of myself, so I'm not going to say I like it a lot, but I guess just, being able to get downhill, I say, settle for a lot of jumpers when I could have, kept going downhill. That was working for me a lot. But, just learn from that, watching film after, and, seeing more of attacking lanes that I had and more assists I could have, got to my teammates there a lot. At the end, they were closing out on me. I get by my man a lot of help came, probably more lobs or I'm gonna kick out for threes.
Carty, can you break down the alley-oop to Mac you had? And then I also noticed when you threw it up, you jumped when you threw it up. Is that a conscious thing or is that just habit?
Well, we were gonna run a different. It was another play that was gonna be more of a lob look, but the big stepped up that time, which he really usually sagged down, and I just kind of read it and threw it up, and it was more like a Mac better get this. That's why I did an extra jump, but he got it, and it was just a great play, great read.
For Monty, I imagine like any freshman, there's probably ups and downs. Could you imagine a month ago that in the first game you'd lead the team in minutes and start and play as much as you did?
No, I didn't imagine, but it was crazy. But I just went out there and just had to play with the team, and the defense and offense just made sure everything was straight. So it was fun.
Cardi, when the team was really struggling offensively there in the first half, I guess just how much ownership do you take right now in being the guy that can spark the team offensively?
I put a lot of pressure on myself. I like to also go back, and I've spoken to Barry and Cam and Dean just about that leadership role, and I know what I'm capable of offensively. So yeah, I do take responsibility for that. And it was just more of, we weren't making the easy plays. We were, taking a lot of threes. I know we were, at the halftime, we were 1 for 12. So, I would like to say, if the first 6 ain't falling, we just need to, try to, dig deep and get in the paint, which was working. I got layups early. That was how I got my points to end the half. And, Mac had a, good night going in the basket. He noticed that, the jump shot wasn't falling. So we got to keep, dominating twos. That's what coach stresses all the time, dominating twos. And our two-point field goal percentage was really high. And if we cut down on the threes, we would have shot a lot better overall.
Hey, Cardi, how do you think David played the point today?
I think he played well. We needed that kick. That push down when Mike got the open three, that was huge. We needed that to extend the lead and stuff like that. And he's just a really good offensive player, pushing the ball. He does what, coach wants us to do, and that's push the ball. We didn't have a lot of transition buckets this game because they only sent, 2 to the glass, and there a lot of them, sat back. But he found the opening, and he created that momentum that we needed.
And then what do you think, Coach, what do you think we could see from X going forward as far as just both sides?
He let us on the play hard. He guards 24. He got a little bit of foul trouble. I don't settle. Shoot the rhythm threes, get to the basket, get rebounds, get putbacks. Just do everything, and that's where he's got to take a lot of pride in it. So it wasn't for him. I'm sure he's not real happy, or satisfied, but I know he's happy because we won the game, and that's the most important thing. And that's what I stress to these guys. The guys that have been here have to lead. The guys that haven't been here, they got to follow. And our whole goal is that we have success on the court and win the game, and that's what happened. It's a good win for our guys, and now we see if we have the maturity to come back and go on the road and against their new team, new coach. It's different than this, but they're still, for us to go there, they'll play at a high level.
And then Montavious, you didn't have to do it much, but when you did have to step in at the 5, how'd you feel playing the 5 today?
I felt great. I always practice. In practice, I go to 5 sometimes just in case that situation happens, and I felt like I played great in that position today. So yeah.
Hey, Montavious, first college game for you. What's the first thing you noticed about the game, whether it was the feeling or something maybe you didn't expect that kind of came at you when it started?
I'll definitely just say, just the energy. The game was just fast, quick, just trying to make sure I just fed it in, and I felt like I did that, so it was great.
Playing with the calls down low, the chemistry between you two, what do you think it was important in building that and playing with them so you guys can play off?
Well, we both can shoot it, we both can get in there, so I felt like when we both get in, we just feed off each other and just make sure that when we see one another, that we just make sure that we both, just grab the opportunity.
Carti, you have such a love for the game. I enjoy watching you play. talk about just that desire to win and not lose the season opener and just kind of set the tone for maybe the expectations that you have for yourself this year.
Well, my goal is, I know that since I've been playing here at K-State, I've been a winner. My first year, Elite Eight, second year, Big 12 championship, and I plan on continue to win. And that's why I want my legacy to be here. And I know that everybody wants to win. And my thing is the little things. I know we held them to like 28%, but we could have held them to 15%. Closing out. Not letting that big, get certain shots. And that's just what I like to harp on the guys is the little details. He didn't make the shots when we closed down and had hands on him. So I was just trying to let everybody know that that's what we need to do. And then of course we're gonna make mistakes in the game, but we just want to minimize those mistakes. And of course winning is the biggest goal. If I didn't have, I would have been just as excited. Or if I had 5-4 points, a win is a win. That's the most important thing. And winning brings those accolades that everybody wants. So when you lose, nobody pays attention to you.
Cartier, I noticed on your step back three, you landed on both feet at the same time. Is that an adjustment to the new rule this year? Or?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what they said, that you can't double tap with one. The displacement call. It's a couple of calls that they said that you can't do. So I just adjusted with that. I wish I was able to pull out that other step back, because it does create a lot of space, and that's why they said that, for the advantages. But just made an adjustment. But the three ball wasn't falling like I wanted it to. But just happy that we got the W, of course.
Bruce, I was just wondering on that really controversial foul they called on Cardi, where you got pretty irritated. Were you maybe trying to get a technical?
No, I just trying to get our guys excited and get them going. And it's tough. Those are tough calls, and it's something. You block the shot. A lot of times they allow people contact after you block that shot, but he saw something different. And I know the crowd was sure when they saw the replay, they weren't too happy, but it just get our guys excited, get them going, and get a little bit of energy. I didn't think we had great emotion and excitement at Washburn game, and thought we played pretty intense. Now can get a day of rest and come back and get ready for Vegas on the road and play with that same energy and enthusiasm.